This is the Our Voice 360 podcast, our perspectives, our way, keeping you in the know while you're on the go. This podcast was created with you in mind. On Our Voice 360, we'll give you inspiration, sports, business and leadership tips, Black history, and entertainment. This is a show built from our perspectives. So if you're ready to be entertained, inspired, laugh a little, be informed, and enlightened, tune in now to Our Voice 360. Let's go! Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Our Voice 360, our perspectives, our ways. I'm Chad Bumgarner, 1/3 of the trio here. I have with me Pete Hunt.
What's good, family?
And my man Mike Brown, the Don Don.
Blessings.
And with that, Pete, let's go ahead and get into it.
And as always, our podcast is sponsored by Elect Graphics and Photography. Allow your visions to become reality. And CDB Consulting. Great leadership equals great results. How are you leading? And if you would like to drop us a line or want to become a sponsor, you can hit us on our email at ourvoice360@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
All right, now before we get into the motivation, which is going to be a powerful nugget, so people stay tuned, I want to give people a little nugget of what we're about to get into today. Today we're talking about the topic of defund the police and why, there's one person on the panel, maybe more, that feels like President Obama got it wrong, and we're also going to talk about the election aspect and how President Trump is really grasping at the last straw, trying to stay in office. And then we're going to end our conversation with poor little Tink Tink, Nate Robinson, and his situation. So before we get into that, Mike, bless us with these jewels of motivation for everybody, please.
Okay. Always remember, it is impossible to move on to the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the old one.
So don't look in the rear view when you're trying to move forward.
That's right.
Dang.
That's right.
Okay.
Dang, Gina.
Okay.
Wow.
That's true. I mean, regardless of the past that you had, whether it was magnificent, whether it was mediocre, whether it was horrible, that's just what it is, the past. And and the thing about it is it doesn't define the future.
Nah.
It's a great lesson to learn from. And again, no matter how bad your past, it can also be used somewhat as a foundation to go to whatever level it is you're trying to go to. So I get that. I get that. I don't mind the glancing for educational purposes.
Yeah.
But don't get stuck in the past. It's funny because I remember growing up, going to Clemens Barbershop. That was the thing. You heard a lot of these old cats always living in the past. They whatever was happening in right then. I see you, Mike. Whatever was happening that day, they would be like, "Oh, it ain't nothing like back in my day." People lived in that time frame, and it's like, eventually you got to come out of that. We can learn from it, but we got to deal with the here and now, and look at towards the future, man. Have to. Can't continue to live in the past. Pete?
Yeah, man. That's a great word, Mike. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, Chad, we learn from our past. We can take the past as life lessons to move us forward, for sure. The things that we did wrong, the things that we did right. I mean, we can take both the good and the bad and push forward to whatever our future may be. And again, we can't dwell in it. And that Clemens Barbershop thing is real poignant to me because, of course, we all went to Clemens Barbershop at some point in time in our life to get edged up.
Yeah.
And
don't go across the street though.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do it.
we ain't gonna do it. For the people who watching, that's strictly a Hickory thing. And if you lived in Hickory, you knew what it was about. You already know. But Yeah, because you went to across the street, buddy. But but,
It was just a power plant across the street.
Yeah, that's all it was. Goodyear tire across the street too. But
yeah.
But yeah, you like I said, Chad, you would hear them old heads, at least, if we were talking about especially like sports and stuff like that. Yeah, them young guys that they don't play like I used to play, and this, that, and the third, and they still stuck and trapped in that way of thinking. And I mean, I am the world's worst at this now because I'm a hip hop head.
Right.
I'm a hip hop head.
Yeah, but you use the past as a reference point, as a guide.
Yeah.
You don't get stuck there. You know what I'm saying?
True,
you're looking at today, or even people coming down the pike, and you're looking at the trend, and it's even okay to compare, but to live like what Mike's word was, living in the past.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big difference, and as far as referencing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I even in that, I still live in the past, and I'm going to continue to live in the past. That's just me. I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean, but yeah, like you said,
we just talk about how bad it is to live in the past.
I'm just a KRS-One dude. I'm just a Kane dude. I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm just a Rakim dude. But I'm just saying. But yeah, in all seriousness, so
Coogee Rap.
Mike, yes sir. Mike, that is a fantastic point, because we can't move forward, whether it's individually or as a people, by continuing to live in the past, because we have to push forward for not only us but our future generations.
Yeah, because one thing I know is, like, when the past is, like you guys were saying, it's a reference point. Because if you don't know your past, then you don't know how your future is going to be.
Right.
Because in order to get to where you want to be, you have to know where you came from. But yeah.
Appreciate that, Mike. Always dropping them jewels on us, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. And as he for those of you who are listening, he dropped the pen like he dropped the mic. Okay, Mike dropped the mic. Okay, I see you. Yeah.
Okay. Bars.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Pete, I know you've been chomping at the bit since we've been on this. Since we've been on this call, man, you have been chomping at the bit to talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. The first topic of discussion is defund the police. What does it really mean? Because it appears that people either don't want to know or are just, to me, flat out ignorant to the fact of the true meaning, or the real meaning, the trill meaning behind defund the police. Some people want to take it and run with it, saying that we want to cut funds to the police department and give them less money and less equipment or whatever have you. But that's totally not the case. I cannot talk today, y'all. Totally not the case. And Pete, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go before you jump through the screen. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to jump through the screen. I just actually, Chad, let me correct you.
Please.
Defunding the police is reallocating funds from the police department to other parts of the community and other services that also help people, whether it's mental health, feeding people, whatever the case may be. That's what defunding the police actually means. It means taking some of the funds that goes towards the police, taking some of that away. I mean, the stuff where they got the money to buy tanks and all this other stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Right. We're not talking about taking away.
Abolishing. We're not talking about abolishing the police. That's a totally different subject.
Nor are we talking about taking away their salaries or reducing their salary pension. Let's be clear on that.
Yeah, exactly. It's taking funds that's giving to the police to buy equipment, whatever they buy, purchase, whatever. Take those funds, and I think it's like a third of those funds, of the funds that they get, and gear it towards more communal and community efforts. Like I said, mental health, feeding the hungry, helping people get
rehab.
jobs. Yeah, drug rehab. Exactly. All of those things. That's what defunding police means. And we had President Barack Obama this week talk about how controversial the statement defund the police is, which really rubbed me the wrong way because it's not really controversial. It's really black and white if you choose to go in depth and find out what it truly is.
Yeah.
And another thing that bothered me about what he was saying was basically defund the police is controversial to white people.
That's what he said without saying it.
Basically, that's what he said. Was he didn't want to offend white people.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is this: what effort by black people to better themselves has not offended white people? Prime example. Let's talk about Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick was minding his own business, sitting on the sideline while the national anthem was going on. A reporter came and asked him, Colin, why are you sitting during the national anthem? Colin Kaepernick, out of his face, in a very articulate way, said, I'm sitting down because of racial injustice towards my people. Police killing unarmed black men and women and children. And I'm taking this stand
as a
silent protest.
Mm-hmm. Peaceful.
A silent, peaceful protest against. He clearly said that. I mean, there was no confusion about what he was doing it for. The next day, he was unpatriotic, and it become about the troops, and it become about disrespecting the flag. And so basically, white people didn't listen to what he had to say and turned it to something different.
They didn't turn it to something different. What they did was turn to other media pundits and listen to their spin instead of going to the source. Well, let me hear what Colin had to say directly. They didn't do that. They went to, I don't want to name the news outlet, but they went to a bunch of far-right news outlets and podcasts to get their information, and then they ran with it like it was the gospel instead of saying, well, let me hear what Colin actually said himself.
And that's true too. And that's true too. And it's the same thing with defunding the police.
Right.
People heard defund the police and immediately went to, and is it people out here that want to abolish the police? Sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, excuse me, but the people that are focused on defunding the police has clearly stated what defunding the police is. If you defund a part of the money from the police, these are the efforts that money can help. These are the community efforts that if you defund, this is what it'll help. But people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that because it's coming from people that look like us.
Not only that, but based off of what Barack is saying, and I'm strongly assuming, so let me preface that, but not only did he not want to offend white folks, but the word defund itself is a pretty strong and negative word. So a lot of people will hear defund and police and think, oh, they're trying to get rid of the police department. And like you said, Pete, that is not the case. Had they taken the time, and all I'm doing is regurgitating what you just said, really. Had they taken the time to really investigate, what does that mean? Because if you really look at the nuts and bolts of this defund the police, it can actually, if it's done, if it's used right and executed right, it can really help the police. How many times have we seen the police go out to a situation where there is an unarmed black person who may be somewhat mentally ill? They can't say they didn't know because you hear the people in the background screaming, the boy ain't right, the boy's mentally ill, or he has mental problems.
It's like when they shot the guy in the middle of the street years ago. And he was mentally challenged.
Yes, it's like a former decorated military veteran here in Atlanta a few years back who was in an apartment complex running around butt naked. Now that right there should tell you, okay, this man, something's going on. Right. So instead of trying to detain him or talk him down or at minimum tase him, you shoot them dead. So defunding the police means instead of taking the money that you're using to buy the equipment, because the equipment, if you're looking at what they're buying, you're turning them into a small military. Now, what kind of message does that send any city when the police come in with tanks and all this armor that the Army or the Navy or Air Force or Marines would have when they're going to third world countries to fight? What is that saying to that city?
They don't see that's the part that they don't understand, because they don't go to any parts of that city but the black parts of the city with those things.
Right. And so what are you saying to the black people? We look at you as a third world country. We're coming all out. But at the same time, it's like, hey, the police are your friend. We need for you to work with us. We need to work together as a community. What you're saying and what you're showing us when you come in our communities is two different things. So
you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth.
Right. So with the defunding of the police, some of those resources can go to drug rehab, because a lot of times if there are people that are being incarcerated, they may have a drug problem. This is not in all cases, but in some. There are some situations where there may be mentally disabled or mentally challenged. We can have therapists on site with the police to come in and talk these people down to where we can control them and bring them in humanely and alive, like we do other people.
If you black, you don't get that option.
You don't. No,
we don't have that option, because if you look at how police handle white people, what about a month or so back, that it was a young white guy the police were chasing, one officer was chasing, and he had a knife.
Yeah.
And he tried to talk him down, and the young boy ended up stabbing him in his throat, stabbing him in his neck. But he went head over heel, bent over backwards.
You was close for him to stab you in the neck.
To stab you in the neck. Now, if that would have somebody that looked like us, he shot dead immediately.
Soon as he reached for the
fear for his life.
Yeah, exactly. So again, getting back to defunding the police, it doesn't matter what black people do. It doesn't matter what message black people put in front of anything. It's going to be controversial. Like we just said with Colin. He specifically broke down why he did what he did, and it was still turned against him. And that's why he doesn't have a job right now.
That's the frustrating. Go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Chad. Go ahead.
That's the frustrating part to me, Pete, is because day one, when he sat in front of all of the media and specifically, clearly articulated why he knelt on a knee, and let's be fully transparent here. Beast Mode did the same thing. He had been doing it.
Marshawn Lynch. When's the last time Marshawn
Lynch wasn't even kneeling? He was sitting on the bench.
Well, Colin was sitting on the bench. He didn't start kneeling until the Army veteran. The Army veteran told him it would be more respectful if he knelt instead of sitting.
So Marshawn Lynch does it, it's no problem. All of a sudden, Colin does it, it's in the news, it's an issue. Then on top of that, he's smart enough to articulate clearly why. Never once did he mention bashing the police. Never once did he mention disrespect of the flag of the troops. He said he did a kneel as a silent protest to all of the black and brown unarmed men who were being killed by police. That's what he said. Now, I may not say the word for word, but that's what he said. So to have these different narratives being spun from that, it frustrates me, because I've had frustrating conversations with people in the past about this. And it's like hitting your head up against the brick wall. It's like they refuse to hear what you have. Even if I went and found the clip and sent it to them, they still won't believe. This is what's coming out of this man's mouth. You see this, and you still think it's still disrespectful to the military. Okay, let me send you a clip from the military. They kneel. They kneel for the cross. You kneel when you pray.
It's real simple. And it really confuses me about, especially when black people will come out and say we have to make it comfortable for other races of people to talk about our plight. No, we don't.
Right.
No, we don't. This is our plight. To talk to white people about race, it's never going to be comfortable. If that was the case, we wouldn't be in a position. We still wouldn't be asking for the same things we've been asking for 400 years.
That's correct.
Equality. It's not about making people. If you're going to talk about race and you're going to talk about things dealing with race, people have to be uncomfortable. You have to make people uncomfortable.
Well, that's part of progress and success. Anytime
Exactly.
you want to progress and be successful, there's going to be some uncomfortness, if that's even a word. Because you got to sacrifice, you got to discipline, and all that stuff to get to where you want to be. So as we as a people, if we want to get the equality, there's going to be some sacrifice on their part, and there's got to be some discipline on their part.
Exactly. But when it comes to us, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They can be uncomfortable about anything else in the world, but giving black people what they're owed.
Because the fear is it's all about control. And I know we're still talking about defund the police, but it ties into control. Mm-hmm. They don't want to lose control or dominion over us the way they see it.
Right.
They don't want to give us. They don't want us to be equal, and they, for damn sure, excuse my French, don't want us to have control.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of really dealing with the truth and saying, you know what, you're right, you are right, we have to do so. They can't do that because in order to do that means to give up control and equality, and that's a pill that they are having a hard time swallowing. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Mike, you got anything?
I'm stuck on the fact that he said dominion. I wasn't gonna let that one slide out. Wow, I was taken aback.
But I'm saying you have to really look at how they think on this.
Yeah.
They really feel like they have dominion over us.
A lot of people don't put it like this. If you've never experienced racism, that's why you think it doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can hear white people say all the time, racism doesn't exist. It doesn't.
My best friend is black.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But until you've been a minority, black, brown, whichever, you're not really gonna understand. People can say they understand, but they don't.
Right.
Because if you ask anybody, would you trade places with a black person? See who raises their hand.
Jane Elliott did
Jane
it.
Elliott, yeah.
The brown.
I was watching her last night too.
Experiment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then and back to defunding. People are up in arms about the phrase defund the police, but guess what? This country has been defunding education for years, and nobody has an issue with it.
Especially in our community.
Yeah, they have been defunding education for years. They have been defunding healthcare for years.
They have been defunding equality
For and there's no problem with what's going on as far as defunding the educational system. While you're worried about defunding the police, your rural hospital and school are not getting the things that they need.
So they're shutting down.
Yeah, exactly. Your rural hospital is shutting down, but you mad about black folk talking about defund the police.
That's like in Taylorsville, Alexander County. They closed their hospital. They got to come all the way to Catawba. That's 45, 50 minutes away.
Yeah. But you mad because somebody said defund the police while they're taking everything from you under your nose.
Yeah.
Because the police is their safety net against us.
Whoo, boy, you better stop preaching.
The police is their only last line of defense between them and us.
You better stop preaching, Chad.
Why do you think Trump kept saying, you know, if you let Biden in, there goes your neighborhoods in the there goes your suburbs. He's trying to put fear in these white folks' minds that if Biden gets president, defunding the police will happen, and you're
and we just gonna run rampant.
Right. Right. Fear. That's what they're pumping, fear. But if you educate yourself on defund the police, it can actually, like I said before, it can actually help the police.
Yeah.
It gives the police more resources to work with so that they can do their job more effectively.
Yeah. So you don't have
trust you, then the right resources instead of the resources you think are right. And then you can get the help and you can get the trust of the community. You got, I mean, to be a friend, you have to show yourself friendly.
Wow.
You just say, I'm
your on now.
Us. Then you come into our neighborhoods with tanks and AR-15s or whatever, talking about you are friends. That don't seem friendly to me. That is to me.
You're a little bit aggressive.
Yeah, that's not a warm hug. I need a warm hug, not a warm bullet.
Tip to me is when you walk the beat. When you walk and you say, "Hey, Miss Johnson, how you doing? How's everything? Hey, Mr. Smith, how's everything going?" When you walk in the neighborhood and you meet these people who live in these neighborhoods, when you go to their churches, when you go to the softball games and football games and talk to the parents and talk to the players, that shows friendship to me. So then when something go down in the community, see, and Tupac said it so eloquently. He said, y'all think because we live in the hood, we don't like killers. We don't like drug dealers either.
At all.
We don't like that fool. What make you think we like that? We want to live in peace too. Okay, we don't have the house on the hill that you have, but we still want to live in peace with whatever we have and wherever we are. Yep. We don't want this stuff running rampant in our neighborhoods, just like you don't. What make you think we're any different? Just because we got less money than you. We still want happiness. We want good health. We want peace. And we want to be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just irritates me that we have leaders, black leaders that go out of their way to basically kowtow. And like you said, Mike, shuck and jive and fetch and step and I mean, no, we don't have to do. Look, we told you what it means. If you choose to accept it, fine. But we're not going to stop doing what we're doing because Barack Obama said it's less. It would be less offensive and to make white people comfortable. Basically, that's what he said. It's not about making you comfortable. It's about making you seeing what the issue is. And the issue is that police are killing my people at a high rate. And have been doing it forever from when they were created as slave patrols. Yeah, they have been killing my people. And now you're gonna talk about the phrase defund the police instead of talking about the problem. I don't give a doggone about defund the police as a phrase. I want you to stop killing my people.
Yeah, that's the new phrase.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't like defund the police, stop killing my people. How about that one? Like you said, Mike.
He has a platform. Why didn't he get on there and specifically describe what that really meant? He's got a bigger platform than all of us.
But here's my thing. It doesn't. You got some people that instead of saying what's right the way it needs to be said, they too busy trying to get along.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Playing the game.
Yeah. And my thing is this, bro, you're not the president no more.
Yeah.
You have carte blanche. You can say whatever you want to say. You don't have to sit there afraid to offend a certain group of people. You don't have, and that's why
a lot of people to offend you.
They sure haven't been afraid to offend us this last 4 years.
What?
Right.
And the person who's leading, that just further lets you know how the game works, Mike. Like you was talking about the game, because when President Obama he walked on eggshells. I can't. If I do this, I don't want to offend. You got a fool in there now that's here to get up out the paint. He don't give a damn about nobody.
He like Texas Walker with the bat. He just come in there, just slap. This how it's gonna be. Bam.
And guess what, Chad? They allowed him to do it.
Yeah,
because he got power to Senate and
and it's not even that. What he looked like. What is his complexion?
Orange.
That too. He's allowed to do that.
This whole thing with
white boys allowed to do that. That's right. But if we get in there and do that, then we're aggressive. We're angry. Yeah. We can't be passionate.
Now, how would they do if it was a black president refusing to leave? Oh, all hell break loose at the White House right now.
He would already been shot, probably.
Right. Yeah.
He'd already been dealt with.
States refusing to recount and everything. We ain't recounting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, come up on out of there. Yeah.
You sure ain't about to be pardoning people on the way out.
Yeah. Oh, we gonna get to that in a minute, Mike. Hold that thought.
Okay, I put a pin in it.
Yeah, put a pin in that one.
Nah, go ahead,
but to wrap up the defund the police, it's just irritating and frustrating to me that people who don't look like me and you refuse. And I mean, you have some that's out there that that's for it too, that don't look like us, but those who don't, only because you refuse to educate yourself or you refuse to listen. Mm-hmm. Because you've already in your mind said, okay, I hear this word defund, so automatically they want to get rid of the police department, which is not the case.
See, those people are the dangerous ones, Pete.
Exactly.
Those people are the dangerous ones.
Exactly.
And that's what concerns me, because even when you got the truth right there in your face and you still refuse to look at it and you want to believe what you want to believe, like the person in the office is doing, that's dangerous to everybody.
It's really dangerous when you got followers that are stupid.
All right, so go ahead and take the pen out, Mike. What'd you put the pen in?
Let's talk about the pardons that the president is going down the list pardoning folks on his way out. Then they saying he's taking bribes.
Yeah, I was watching the news this morning. They were talking about his staff or team was looking at how they can go about doing the pardon and do it legally, because at one point in time they were saying that he may step down as president a few days before he got to go in, resign, and then Mike Pence will be in there for like 4 or 5 days, long enough for Pence to do the pardoning, because Trump may not be able to pardon his family and some other people, but if Trump resigns and then Pence steps up and becomes president for the last week or two, then Pence can automatically come in, you know what I'm saying, and do the pardon.
And pardon him, and pardon
they're already
Trump
looking
too.
into how they can do that, and of course the opposition is looking into how they can block that.
First off, if you already know that that's the plan, how are you allowing that to happen? I don't know.
They didn't say they were allowing it, because like I said, the opposition is looking at ways to block that legally. Like if Pence does step up, what legally can we do to block this pardoning that they're trying to make happen?
Hold on, let's break it down to its purest form, like water, as we used to hear somebody say back in the day.
Yes, sir.
If you've done nothing wrong, what you need a pardon for? I mean, if your children have done nothing wrong, why are you trying to pardon your children?
Yeah, the cops gonna be out there waiting on them with them silver handcuffs. They already know.
Them platinum bracelets.
If you've done nothing wrong, why would you leave office early?
When you ain't want to leave the White House.
Yeah, so Mike Pence can pardon you. If you've done nothing wrong, why would you pardon Rudy Giuliani if he's done nothing wrong? That's what it boils down to. So you done some foolish stuff. You've known you done cut the fool and done took all this money, and even got your sycophants sending you money to the man done raised $170 million.
$170 million
Since November 3rd by his cult members And he can use the funds, 75% of the funds, he can use at his own discretion. You are paying him to leave the White House. How dumb are you? How dumb are you? And now it's just
now he going around doing victory rallies. Okay, y'all help me. That really.
How you doing victory and you lost?
He's about to start going around doing victory rallies. I'm really trying to understand this, and I'm hoping you all as educated brothers can help me understand. I got a little bit of education, but help me understand how you can go around doing victory rallies when you lost. Kind of like the Civil War. You lost, but you putting statues up everywhere.
And the Confederate flag flying. But it's easy, Chad, to do that because he has, first of all, he has destroyed and taken over the Republican Party. He has destroyed their whole party. And when you have people that follow him that are as devoted to him as they are, he can do that because he's not when January 20th, 12 o'clock, when he's ushered up out of the White House, it's not going to stop because he's taken a majority of he's going to take the majority of the Republican Party with him. And that's why these Republican senators and House members and governors and mayors and stuff, they're scared of him. They're scared to say anything because they know he has taken over their party.
He got 74 million votes.
Donald Trump owns the Republican Party, and they know that. That's why they won't say nothing. That's why they're not stepping up and saying anything, because they fear for their jobs. They know that the backlash. Okay, let's talk about William Barr.
Ooh.
What did William Barr say the other day? William Barr, we didn't find anything wrong with the election. We didn't find enough evidence that's going to overturn the election. Now, this is coming from the attorney general that Trump handpicked. Appointed. Guess what his cult members and followers are doing? Now they done turned on him.
Oh, yeah.
They done turned on William Barr, calling him, he's part of the deep state, and he was never a Trump, whatever. This is what happens when you tie your horses to somebody like this. Chad, down in your neck of the woods, down there in Georgia, Brian Kemp and his homies down there, they thought they were special. There's no way Donald Trump and his people will go against me. Guess what's going on right now? They threatening them. We gonna kill you and your family. And now all these Republicans are coming out. The guy, whatever the guy named down there in Georgia, the guy that's over the election, pleading.
Oh, Donald Trump.
That's Secretary of State. He was him and the other guy that's over the election board talking about Trump. You need to stop doing this and stop this rhetoric, and senators, you need to step up and denounce this rhetoric by Donald Trump. No, as I said off air, it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Nope.
They really thought they were special enough that Trump and his minions would not come after them. Whatever Trump say, go with the Republican Party now.
Trump even tweeted about Brian Kemp, talking about he regretted he ever supported him.
Exactly.
Because he asked him to step in and do something about the elections. And
which
to
he
get
can't
him to defeat the boy, he said, man, I can't touch the election. Because see, he messed up last time when he ran against Stacey. He interfered then. That's how he won.
Yeah, because he was Secretary of State. He was Secretary of State. Yeah.
Which was a huge conflict of interest, but he didn't step down and recuse himself. He didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So now he can't mess up again. He ain't no fool. He can't mess with it again. So now Trump is like, oh, so you're not gonna look out for me? Okay, all right. So now you and as he called him an enemy of the people. Of the people.
Brian Kemp has bent over backwards for Donald Trump.
Sure has.
He has done everything possible to get Donald Trump elected in Georgia. Excuse me. whether it was voting machines, whether it was trying to stop people from voting, whatever the case may be, he did everything in his power for Donald Trump. And guess what happened? Just like everybody else Donald Trump touches, he turned it on him. Now he done sent his people after him.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, so what did you get out of it?
No, not that. It's the same question we asked weeks ago when we was on this podcast. We were talking about the attorney general for Kentucky. Was it worth it? Was it worth it?
Now you get death threats. Now you got a couple of was it Lynn Wood, and I can't remember the lady's name, down there in Georgia now telling now they Republicans, they Trump supporters. They Trump not Loeffler, but the other lawyer. I can't remember her, Sherry or Shelley something or whatever, that Trump kicked off his team because she was real crazy. But they were down in Georgia telling that now they're not Republicans, they're Trump supporters. They're telling Republicans to not vote in the January 5th runoff in Georgia because Loeffler and Perdue won't step up and denounce that Joe Biden won Georgia. What kind of crazy foolishness is that?
That's like an animal eating their young.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Trump has come in and destroyed, like he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
He came in and destroyed their party, took over their party. Now it's Trump's party. They're Trumplicans. They're not Republicans. They're Trumplicans.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have the majority of Republicans scared to denounce this guy.
Right.
Because they're scared of his 74 million voters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I mean, again, did you really think this guy was not going to turn his back on you?
His own niece told y'all time and time again, he only cares about himself.
Mary tried to tell you.
She did.
But you didn't want to relinquish the power. You were power hungry. So you would accept anything as long as I could keep power. Not knowing that this dude is a snake. That's why he's fighting to stay in the White House, because to be honest with you, when he won, insiders said that he wasn't even expecting to win. He didn't want to win. But then when he got a taste of it, he like, oh no, I can't let this go. I like it.
He drunk with power now.
Right, like Kim Jong-un, how they bow to him and how everybody worship him as a dictator. That's what he wants. He can't get enough of it. He's drunk. Anybody drunk with power is a dangerous person.
Yeah, and it's just, and I don't feel bad for those people because you had to know. You know this dude. This dude is not loyal to anybody. He expects loyalty and not loyal to anybody.
There have been people, time and time again. What's your girl? What's the black chick that was on the team? They got kicked off. What's her name? Omarosa. Then you had Scaramucci. Then you had the personal lawyer.
Cohen. Michael Cohen.
Then you had remember the guy that used to come out every day and do the press conference? What was he left about a year ago.
Yeah.
But you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So now and then after that, Hucklesby was up there.
Mm-hmm.
Then she left. Nobody knows why she left. Why would you be a Trump supporter and leave? She didn't like the way Trump did her. In her book, there was an excerpt, and I've said this before. It was her, Trump, and Kim Jong-un. She said Kim Jong-un made a pass at him. I'm paraphrasing. So they get in the car. It's her and Trump and another U.S. official, and she tells Trump what happened. And Trump said, well, you got to take one for the team. The country will love you.
Wow. It's just, I mean, it's just, and what even just makes it really laughable, these same people that support this dude, these poor white people, I mean, literally, not literally and figuratively, poor, dirt poor, don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Support this dude, and he don't give a doggone about them.
All of his principles are direct opposite of their principles. Complete direct.
And what even just floors me even more are these so-called Christians that follow him.
We did this last week, Pete. Don't do that.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
We did this last week.
Okay, yeah, that was last week. We're gonna keep that as last week. But it's just funny to me that now that he's taken over their party, how they're defenseless.
Yeah,
they're defenseless. One man has come in and taken over your whole party, and you're scared to death because you don't want to lose your job. You don't want your job as a senator instead of telling the truth and being real about what's really going on. You don't want you would rather be less of a man and less of a woman, and stand here and let this man talk about. Let's talk about Ted. Let's bring up Ted Cruz. This man talked about your wife in your face. He said your wife was ugly in your face.
Well, you know he couldn't be black.
He couldn't be black. And that just lets you know how scared. You let another grown man call your wife ugly on national TV.
On national TV.
On national TV. And you don't do nothing. You like, and then the next day you take her and the kids up there to the White House. He said your daddy killed JFK. You talking about my daddy. Hold on now. And I mean, you look at Lindsey Graham. What was Lindsey Graham talking about before when they was running against each other? If Trump is the nominee, he'll destroy our party. And what Lindsey Graham doing now? Kowtowing, fetching and stepping. Guess what? But it was so funny about talking about Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham didn't change his stripes until Trump took him out there to that golf retreat. And then all of a sudden, Lindsey was a different person. I got some ideas on why Lindsey changed his tune, but I'm gonna leave that to my. You know what happened? Lindsey went out there with Trump, and Trump gave him that brown manila envelope. And Lindsey looked and saw what was in that envelope. He was like, "I'll do anything you say." I'm not gonna tell you what was in the envelope, but I got an idea.
I'll do anything for you.
Exactly, but again, like you said, Mike, about the pardons and stuff. If you've done nothing wrong, why are you going out of your way to pardon not only your children, your lawyers, and all this other stuff if you've done nothing wrong?
Yeah, how you gonna have a pardon just in case you do something?
A preemptive pardon. Yeah. That's what they call it.
Pre-pardon.
For us layman people, we call that insurance.
Exactly. Exactly. They call it insurance. As the old folks, you say insurance. We're just gonna leave the N off of it. It's just insurance.
Insurance. You got life insurance.
Now, so I mean, it's what is so funny is that after all these people have backed this guy and stood up for this dude and cut deals and did dirty stuff and like the Joy going in and ripping out the post office so this dude can get elected and all this other stuff, and then for him to turn his back, him and his minions turn their back on them after all that they've done for him.
Did you say minions?
Minions. Minions. So that's what they are. They're minions. I'm just saying. I mean, like I said, prime example, Bill Barr. Look, bro, Bill Barr looked at it like this, and I'm a firm believer in this. This is what happened. Bill Barr looked at his law license and looked at Donald Trump. Would I rather lose my credibility as a lawyer, which you've already lost anyway, by teaming up with this guy, or would I rather just be real and say what's the truth? And he chose what the truth was. He chose the truth. Trump done turned it back. Now they're saying Trump gonna fire him, get rid of him.
I believe he will.
Yeah, he's gonna end up firing Bill Barr. Now his minions are after him, death threats and all this other stuff. Why would you be loyal to somebody like that? That would do. But anyway, that's another story. That man, that it just, and I feel not 1 ounce of pity
I don't, because like I said, all these people in the past 3 years that's fallen by the wayside because of Trump, if you didn't learn from them, I don't feel nothing for you either. I really don't, because it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, because he gonna get you. He gonna get you at some point.
Soon as he can't use you no more, it's a wrap.
Yeah, like I said, Mike, as long as if he can't use you no more, yeah, I mean you are no longer good to me. And then on top of that, we almost have 300,000 people that have died from this coronavirus, and this man has not said my condolences. I'm sorry. Nothing.
No, he did say something. He did say something.
What did he say?
They told him about those deaths. He said it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right. That's what he said. And it's not my fault. It is what it is, and it's not my responsibility. But yet and still, your grandmama done died, your uncle done died, your cousin done died, your sister done died, brother, mama, daddy done died, and you still gonna follow in behind this dude. Okay, that's man, listen. Oof. We could be on this all day.
Well, let's end this on a lighter note. Anybody ready to go night-night?
You ready to go night-night?
You ready to go night-night? Nate Robinson jumped into the ring for a charity event with another young man who is he is a boxer, right? The guy that he's
a podcaster.
He's a podcaster.
Yeah, he's a podcaster.
My God.
Yeah, he's a podcaster. Yeah, he's a podcaster. And and Nate called him out.
Wow.
Yeah, and but the guy was actually he had fought 2 professional fights. Jake Paul, that's what his name is. Okay. The guy that Nate Robinson fought.
So
his name is Jake Paul.
On his belt. Okay.
Yeah, he knocked 2 guys out, I think, previously before the Nate
3.
Yeah, they're 3 now.
That was warm up.
Yeah, and Nate called this guy out, and Nate said he's gonna knock him out for the culture. For who culture? Set the culture back, Nate. Come on, bro. I'm like, what? Who said it? I think it was it Lennox Lewis or somebody said you can play basketball. I don't care what kind of athlete you are. You can play basketball. You can play football. You can't play boxing. You can't play. Nah, ain't no playing boxing.
It sure enough ain't. Cause like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan till you get hit.
And then that was Mike Tyson.
Right.
That was Mike Tyson that said that.
That's right.
And we know who that guy is. So Nate just, this is what it was. And let's be honest. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Nate saw this was a white boy.
Yeah.
And that's Nate's mentality.
Yeah.
That's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Nate saw this as a white gentleman.
He thought it was gonna be easy.
He thought it was gonna be easy. He thought it was gonna be light.
Mm-hmm.
He thought this is a white guy that he has got his money from YouTube. He's a YouTube guy. There's no way he can beat me up. I'm Nate Robinson. I'm an athlete. This guy's not an athlete. I'm an athlete.
Doing it for the culture.
I'm doing it for the culture.
What? Like P said, what culture?
Okay, please, people, excuse what just came out of my mouth. I'm so sorry.
Not my culture. Not mine at all.
I'm telling you, man, he just went in there and got mollywopped. He got destroyed. He looked like Martin after he got beat up by Tommy Hearns with the swole head and the speed knots all on his head. Talk about Gina, can I have a kiss?
Did you see the way he was asleep? He was asleep on that canvas though.
He was asleep. Look, and his feet was turned the same way. How your feet turned the same way?
And his hands were...
That's how you know you got knocked out.
Your feet turn the same way. When your feet won't separate.
Your feet like this.
like you get to break it down and
like you doing in Egypt.
Boy, I mean, Nate. I'm not coming out no more. I mean, how you explain that to your kids?
Hey, he came in the boxing ring with plaits and left with a perm. He knocked that brother's head straight.
Bruh, look.
Hey, Nate woke up did this.
He left looking like Al Sharpton.
Look, bro. Look, it's like this. I mean, what you gonna tell your son? Tell your son to take out the trash. He gonna be like, hey, shut up. Don't make me go get Jake. I ain't taking that trash out, Daddy. Don't make me go get Jake.
Tell Jake to take it out.
Exactly.
She want to call people out.
Yeah, did you want to call people out, Daddy?
How you gonna get mad at your girl? How you gonna get mad at your wife? You can't even threaten her no more.
Oh no.
Or what you gonna do? You gonna
like
do me like you did?
Make me call. Make me call him. Make me call him.
I got Jake on speed dial.
Yeah.
What you say, Mike? What you going? You should have did that to Jake.
Yeah.
You should have put your hands on Jake. That was. Man, bless Nate's heart.
Nobody else out.
Bless Nate's heart, man. I mean, that boxing is no joke, man.
It's not. That thing for real. For real.
That thing for real, man. That thing for real, man. I mean, and when you step inside that ring, I mean, it's just like the octagon.
Yeah.
Not fight. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, it takes a special person to get in them situations. Because if you got the mentality, I'll just fight somebody to fight them. I ain't mad. They ain't done nothing to me.
I just love to fight.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm not fighting you. I mean, you ain't slapped my cat. You ain't kicked my dog.
Nah.
Hold on. He was knocked out 3 times before that. The man had knocked him out 3 other times before the last one.
I'm telling. I mean,
so after the first, second, and third, when nothing told him like, hey, dude, for real, you better start dancing like Muhammad Ali. You better.
He was still doing it for the culture.
Yeah, that
culture had him going.
Culture put a battery in his back.
I think
and Jake knocked it out. What'd you say, Chad?
Energizer Bunny Rabbit was going around the ring. What'd you say?
I said I think the word culture is heavily overused.
I knew that right. Well, in this case, it was called boy, Nate. Woo-wee. And then, you know, can we just give Snoop his flowers while he living, please? Because Snoop,
commentating,
buddy. When that brother started singing "Precious Lord, Take My Hand," I was done. I was like, Snoop has found another career, buddy. He has found another career. He need to go ahead and start announcing. He need to announce the Super Bowl. They need to go ahead and put him in the NBA Finals. Let him do the final baseball, the World Series, whatever. Let Snoop do the commentating. That brother said, "Oh Lord, precious Lord, take my hand." I was like, "Good gracious." Oh man, but we praying for you, Nate. We love you, Nate. We love you, Nate.
Woke up by now.
I know that's right.
Nate still asleep.
I know that's right. We're gonna have to get some braces for your feet to get your feet straight, to turn your feet straight. We're gonna have to get them braces.
Run, run.
Yeah, we got to get some braces for your legs and feet.
I was running.
Man, Nate, we love you, Nate. Praying for you. Blessings to you. As Mike say, blessings.
Stay on the basketball court.
Yeah, play football. Stay out that boxing ring, Nate. We want to see you healthy and living, brother.
I'm mad at his ring and at the people in his corner who allowed him to go up there and do that. That's who I'm mad at. Why y'all let that boy go up there and do that?
Nah, be mad at Nate. Be mad at Nate. Nate the one that called him out.
Nate called him out, but a true friend would have jumped in Nate's face. Look, bro, look, you trying to be funny. I get it. You don't want to do
He wasn't trying to be funny.
They did that. They tried that.
Yeah, they tried that. They knew Nate wasn't right in training, but Nate wanted to fight. Nate thought it was easy pickings.
Yeah, I bet Nate's friend's phone is blowing up. Be like, yeah, I tried to tell. I tried to tell him. No, don't come at me. I tried to tell him.
I'm telling you, boy.
Mike said that brother is still asleep.
Yeah, he's asleep. I feel so. Yeah, man. Nate, man.
Hey, you think he dreaming 3D?
Oh wow. Ooh-wee. Man, he was. Nate been waking up in cold sweats ever since Saturday. He just,
Nate gonna be on Donahue talking about, I was gone for 2 hours and I saw the Lord, and then he let me come back.
He straightened my feet up.
Straightened my feet up. I'm telling you. Oh, man. Woo! I know one thing. You can't be my president if you get knocked out and your feet turn the same way. Come on.
You can't be my president if you got spaghetti ankles.
Man. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Lord.
Oh,
Somebody should have cashed that Nate a wake-up call.
oh.
Hit that Venmo. Hit him with that Venmo.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's who needed a ventilator for real.
I just hope
he got COVID after that.
I hope it would work in his chest and in his feet.
That boy knocked the COVID out of him.
Man, I'm telling you, man. I look, as we said before, Chad. I hope it was worth it. You can't even be seen on the streets no more. One of them NBA players said Nate need to give back them 3 dunk contest trophies. You done disrespected your whole career, dog.
Disrespected the league.
Hey, bro, his spirit came out and looked down. I'm like,
like on the cartoons.
For real.
You know how Tom and Jerry.
The upper room. His spirit went up to the upper room. And brought, look, the Lord said, I ain't done with you yet. You going back down there to earth. You ain't done with you. You still got things I need. Yeah, I got things for you need to do.
Man, and one of them take this L.
I know that's right, Nate. Wow, I tell you, Nate. But like I said, we praying for you, Nate. We praying for you, man.
I'm really not.
He got knocked out so crazy. When he got knocked out, it looked like his shoes was on the wrong feet. That's how
I'm telling you, Mike. I'm trying to tell you. But I told you to put them shoes on the right feet.
He woke up and said, "Where am I?"
I'm telling you,
man.
Put me in, coach. Put me in.
Nah, Jake done took you out. That would done happen. Boy. Woo.
Well, fellas.
It's been another great one.
Another great one, man. Another great one. Blessings up to Nate. Blessings up to
Nate. Praying for you,
Nate. Wrong with Nate, but his ego right now. He all right.
That's it. Don't come out. Look,
they already got memes about him.
Yeah, I mean, you would hate for that to. In all seriousness, I mean, as good a career that he had playing basketball, the 3 dunk contest and all this other stuff. That's what you're gonna be remembered for, dog.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's sad, and it's sad because it didn't have to happen. You could have left that young man on YouTube. Mm-hmm. He was minding his business.
That's right, making his money,
minding his business. But no, you couldn't leave well. As my grandma said, you couldn't leave well enough alone. You couldn't leave well enough alone.
Now you're gonna be known for the sleep. Baby had sleep apnea.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of Voice.
Thank y'all so much, man.
Our perspective, our ways. We are going to end this note on a Bible verse or quote.
Lord, help Nate.
I can't even find it. I had it.
Jesus wept.
Okay, here we go. It's coming from Isaiah 43rd chapter, 2nd verse. When you go through deep waters, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. The flames will not consume you. People, you need to understand, no matter what it is we face, no matter what it is we go through, God will always see you and us through. Doesn't matter who's sitting in the White House, who's sitting in the Senate, who's sitting in Congress, whatever. God is in utter and complete control. He's the only one that truly matters. So if we keep our eyes on him and continue to words, He will continue to bless us and keep us like he always has.
Oh, that's what they told Nate when he woke up. God is in control, Nate. What happened to my feet?
Thank y'all for listening, man. Oh my, thank y'all for watching, man. We out.
Be safe, be blessed.
Yes,
Peace.
Peace.
We out.
And turn your feet straight.
If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when a new show drops. Please rate and review this podcast and share it with your friends. Also, if you'd like to advertise or become a sponsor, please send an email to ourvoice360@gmail.com with your inquiry. We'll connect with you as soon as possible in hopes of creating a great partnership. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Our Voice 360. Our perspectives, our way, keeping you in the know while you're on the go. See you next week.